Hey, what's good? It's R4. Today I'm going to go over how to play consistently in tournaments like DreamHack, FNCS, and Cash Cups. I'm going to go through my games from the third FNCS qualifier, what I did well, what I did wrong, and how I can improve. I'll also give tips for how to do well in future events to help you guys out. Anyways, let's get right into the analysis. Also, please subscribe so I can get a supporter creator code. Thanks. So the single most important thing for doing well in tournaments is to have a good mindset. A good mindset can help you stay focused, be more confident, and will help you place higher. Let's take a look at my placements from the most recent solo tournaments. The tournaments that I have done best in are the ones that I have been the least confident. I've actually done better in events with more competition because I never underestimate my opponents. I don't make stupid mistakes because I know I can't get away with them. I qualified for FNCS Semis 3 because I understood the competition I was facing. On the other hand, I did horrible in DreamHack because I underestimated my opponents. I made stupid plays and became tilted much easier because I thought the players that I was facing were far worse than me. Understand the requirement to play in an event, but don't think just because the tourney is open that the players in it are terrible. What I'm saying is, don't be surprised when a Christmas tree rolls up on you and you die because you thought Epic had accidentally added AIs into the Cash Cup. Assume everyone is Benji Fishy, and trust me, you'll win more fights. The other way to have a good mindset is to not care about actually doing well in an event. Sometimes it's better just to give up an event and just practice against better competition. Let's take a look at events that I haven't completely tried to do well in. For example, in the Booga Cup. I only played about an hour and a half and finished with 102 points. I knew I couldn't play the whole event because I ain't playing that for 4 hours, man. I tried to take as many mid-game fights as possible, and I ended up getting around 3 to 5 kills in games I didn't die off spawn in. For only playing 90 minutes, getting a total of 16 kills was pretty nice. In DreamHack, I played 2 games and died off spawn in both. I ended up with a whopping 0 points. I decided to play the platform Cash Cup instead 20 minutes late. After playing only 9 games, I placed 567th with 58 points. I was pretty stoked because it was the first time I had actually come top 1000 in an event. It was nice to know that after playing like shit in DreamHack, I actually could do well. To be honest, tilting is not that bad. Tilting will make you care less about a tournament. Just make sure that your mindset isn't dead set on the fact that you need to win. Instead, understand that you won't win and that you have nothing to lose. Overall, these tips are really to help you get through those first few games. Once you've settled in, the pressure is usually taken off. You can go out and just play the game. Going into an event, you should have a strategy set in place that you can follow. This includes a drop spot, a loadout, planned mid-game rotations, and end-game mobility. Understanding these key components are the key to playing consistent. I also have a notepad with extra information like tournament placements, grenade throw distances, and storm surge. It is always better to have more information than less, so I try to come prepared. If there were any previous events similar to the one you are planning on playing, try to see what the minimum point threshold to either qualify or win money is. Try to regulate yourself by dividing your point goal by the number of games you have to play. Each game, try to aim for how many points you need. For example, in FNCS, I needed 32 points to qualify for semifinals on NA West. If I was going to qualify, I would need at least 4 to 5 points per game in all 7 of my games. By following this format, you can see how many points you need to make up each game if you don't reach your goal. If you know when placement is, getting 5 points per game doesn't seem that difficult. I mean, it's only top 25 in 7 games. Well, easier said than done. Also, limit how many games you play per hour. I recommend starting on time, as there's no proven benefit for starting 5 to 10 minutes late, but make sure you have at least 3 games going into your last hour. The reason why is because you're only going to make it to 2 or 3 endgames. If you have a 4th game left over, make sure you W key to get as many kills as possible. Don't worry about dying because if you play that game out, you may not be able to play your final game. When W keying, I recommend trying to find a llama, as you won't have to waste time farming materials and you can get straight into mid-game fights. Don't worry about anything else but getting kills. In the Cash Cup, I had 5 games going into my last hour. I W keyed 2 of those games, and in one, I dropped a 7-kill second place finish. If you have a successful W key game, you'll have tons of confidence. Now you can just play out the rest of your games like you normally would. So your loadout is pretty much dependent on RNG, and the weapons you take are mostly personal preference, but some items are better than others. In stacked endgames, tacks are much better than the charge. The lag in endgames makes the charge pretty much unusable, In terms of utility items, I almost always take crash pads. They're so versatile and they can be used in so many different ways. I'll be making a video going more in depth on how to use crash pads soon. In terms of an ideal loadout, I would take an AR, attack, 2 different meds, and crash pads. Obviously, use what you're comfortable with, but there isn't a much better loadout than this. Overall, doing well in tournaments is almost completely a mental game. Have a good mentality, and I promise that you will do well. Make smart decisions, come prepared, and know the format of the event you're playing in. Anyways, that's about all I got. If you enjoyed this video or learned something, leave a like. No joke, this video took me over a week to make and I'm really happy with the result. Hope you guys enjoyed and I'll be back soon. Later.